Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to, I don't even know what episode I'm on, but welcome to my RPG Maker VS8 video tutorials. I'm still setting up things, and I've just moved over my RPG Maker VS folder over from my other laptop. I don't know why it's taking me so much time. It's just I'm trying to get to know every single feature that my laptop has, so I'm just fondling with stuff. So thank you guys for your patience. And recently, my subscriber count went up to 58 as it is right now, and I would like to thank you guys for subscribing, and for my older subscribers, thank you guys for supporting me from an alien on, and thanks for watching my videos so far. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's 54. I really appreciate it. And yeah, if you guys know anyone else that would enjoy my channel, please make sure to share my channel and get them to learn RPG Maker VS8, or just watch some Let's Plays to get them to download games. It's been a minute and I want to actually start this. So in this episode, I'm going to basically be covering variables, and I'm pretty sure my last episode I covered switches. Yeah, variables. Okay. So reading the definition of this, some people might not get it from, well, not the definition, the what it tells you that is used for. Well, the way it explains it to you is very, very confusing. I'm gonna read it to you real quick just to give you a basic idea if you get it or not, but I'm pretty sure most of you guys won't get it if you're new to RPG Maker VS8 or VS or any RPG Maker games. Okay, says the result of a comparison with the variable as a condition. Specify the variable to use, comparison value, and comparison method. That's basically talking about the little picture to the right where it says conditional then, or is it? Yeah, it is. To use a variable for comparison value, select variable and specify variable to look up. So you might not get that, and actually that's something else. I don't know if I can find it, but whatever, that's what the game tells you that you use variables for, not really explaining much to you. So what are variables and what do you use them? Variables are on the same level as switches. They're both used for flow control and story progression and game progression in your game. So to flow and to control, flow control, whatever. So basically, switches, actually, let me not even talk about use switches as an example, because some people might still not get switches watching this video. So basically what variables are, let's say you want to have a quest that makes the character go out into the field and collect a certain number of items. And as you guys know, well, I hope you guys know, when you want to set a condition with only the item, you can only set it to one item, and you can't set it to multiple items. So if you have a quest that a guy says, hey, go get me 10 flowers, and then once you get one flower in your bag and you go back to the guy that told you to get one flower, he's gonna accept it because there's no way to keep track of how many flowers you have. So that's what you use variables for, basically to keep track of how many flowers you have. So let's make an example of let's make a tiny little quest. So let's go ahead, yeah, make a new NPC. I'm gonna leave this I'm gonna leave this as this. So what the first page does just in case you guys didn't know. Basically, when you go up and activate him, which is talk to him, he says, hello, can you help me? And then there's going to be an option for you to pick yes or no. When you pick no, he's going to say and that's it. But when you pick yes, he's going to say, okay, I need you to go out into the field, into tutorial field, and collect 5 flowers for me. And then it's going to turn on control switch A, which is going to jump to this page, which is just gonna be a filler. So he's gonna say, hey, come back to me when you get the flowers every time you talk to him, instead of like repeating the whole page 1. It's just gonna stay on page 2. Oh, I forgot to set it. Okay, so let's leave it at that. So right now, let's go ahead and make those flowers. So go to database. I'm just showing you guys an example of how to use variables. Oh yeah, whatever. Alright, so basically we have our flowers. So let's say we didn't know how to use switches. And copy, paste. This is gonna be the page that he basically just, oh boy. Excuse the phone. Every time I'm doing a video, the phone rings. Thanks for the flowers. So we're not gonna be doing any rewards. He's just gonna say thanks for the flowers. Conditional, I mean not conditional, branch control versions B. Apply, copy, paste. B. This should not be on here. This should be on here. Okay, that's B. Delete this. Ooh. Damn it. Hello. Okay, so I have to explain this furthermore. So page 3 is basically what he's gonna do after you give him the flowers. But let's say we didn't know how to use variables and just make it item. So that's basically what this does. Is basically, if you have one single flower in your inventory, he's gonna accept it and this whole page is gonna run. But if you want to make it so you actually keep track of how many flowers you have and how many more you need, or how many you need for him to do this, to run this, to give you the reward, or to say thank you for the flowers, you need to go over here where variable is, check the variable, and then create a new variable. I'm going to name this flowers. So variable number 1 keeps track of how many flowers we have. Now you have how many you need to have in your inventory in order to activate this. So let's go ahead and make that 5. Apply. Okay. Now how do we actually make the variable counts go up? Easy. Let's go into our tutorial field, new event. Let's go ahead and just find something that resembles a flower that's not generically already on the field. I'm trying to use something that's not on the field already, so I'm just gonna use this, although it's not really a flower. So what we want to do now is new page. Go ahead and make this cell switch A. I'm skipping step, but that's not really important. So control cell switch A. So the important part now is you go down to where it says control variables, and you have a whole bunch of options on what to do. So variables can be used to keep track of multiple things. Not at one, each one variable can be used to keep track of multiple things, and a variable could actually be used to keep track of another variable, which I'm not gonna get into because that's advanced stuff. So basically you can use variables to just you could control variables to make them okay. First you pick the variable you want to control. When it comes to control variable, you pick the one you want to control. You can make multiple variables be assigned to one thing, although I never do that myself, but you could. And you can use it to do advanced stuff. But let's pick a single variable, which is a flower. Now we have a operations list. We could do multiple things with it. One is set it. That means you set the variable to whatever you pick from the I don't know what that word is. Append or operand, whatever. You could set it to anything on this third box. Add means you could add it to any. You could add anything on the. Okay, let's say I have set. That means every time I pick up that flower, it's gonna set the variable to 1. And then if I pick up another flower, it's gonna set it to 1. That's not what we want to do. We want to add 1. That means every time we pick a flower, it's gonna add a variable. It's gonna jump up the variable count to 1. We could set it to any number from here to, I think, 99999. I mean 999. I think no, we could go all the way up to. Let's see. I don't even know what the maximum numbers. Okay, basically you could have that many. I don't know what crazy quest you would want to be doing that for, but you could have it all the way up to that number that you see on the screen right now. Or you could make it. You could say, hey, I want this flower, but I also want to add it to that flower that to a different kind of flower that you already collected before, and you could go ahead and add that number to that variable or whatever. You could so that means every time I pick a flower, it's gonna add the number of another variable to this variable that I have right now. Or I could make it into a random number between 0 to 0 as it's right now, or between 0 to 1, or 0 to how many number you want, all the way again up to 9999. So you could just make you could just add any random number between 0 or 9999. This doesn't have to be 0. You could also change this. Game data. This is what I usually do to keep track of stuff, but I'm gonna explain that to you later on this video, which again is going on to might have multiple parts to it. Right now I'm thinking 3 parts, but I don't know so far. Definitely 3 parts. Or you could basically everything in the operation part, you could set it. I mean, not set it. You could like use anything on the bottom part on it. So right now, let's just keep it as set. You could take flowers and set it to script. That means you could just run a custom script, like if you know how to script. If you're not advanced, don't worry about the switch. So basically, game data, basically again a way to keep track of multiple stuff. I'm gonna explain that part later. So let's continue with what we want to do, which is add 1 constant. Change this number to 1. There we go. So what this event does is you walk up to the event, right? When you activate it, fudge. I lost track on what I was thinking. So every time you activate this event, it increases the event count to 1. It increases it by 1. And then it turns on a self switch, which just makes the flower disappear, just to give you the illusion that you're collecting it, and also to make it so you don't just spam on the same flower and keep on collecting from it. So now that we have that, we don't even have to recreate it. All we have to do is copy and paste it in different locations, because that's basically 1 is all you need to make a blueprint, and then you just copy it. And then they're all gonna do the same thing. You put as many as you want. You could have multiple of these flowers, and you could even make them respawn. Tutorial purposes, side tutorial, how to make stuff respawn. I guess parallel process, control. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Actually, just to show you guys, let me put it to 200. So basically, this is it's just a simple thing to make it respawn. If you want the flowers to respawn, I guess it's a side tutorial just in case you guys want to know. Now control self switch, basically just turn it off. I'm not gonna be doing it with all. You know what? I might as well do it with all the flowers. Let me delete. I mean, I'm making multiple parts of this, so I might as well just like go crazy. One. Okay, that's 5. Now let's just add our transfer. I don't know why I didn't set this before, but okay, can set that right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this out and see what happens.